Some food courts in Singapore will not only serve meals, they will also be on the front lines in the battle against domestic violence. 77 managers of Koufu food courts have been trained to detect and report signs of abuse. It is part of a refreshed national anti-violence movement to encourage greater collective effort to tackle the issue. Chloe Teo reports.
These cups hold more than just coffee or tea. They also carry a message that help is just one phone call away. From October, patrons of local food court operator Koufu will see the National Anti-Violence and Sexual Harassment Helpline number on their mugs island-wide. If on-site help is needed, customers can also approach food court managers who have been trained to provide assistance in such cases.
Our Koufu managers actually also attended the domestic violence awareness training. So this training is to help them to identify the signs of abuse. Additionally, this training also equip them with better information on the helplines, so they may actually help anyone who may be in need due to violence.
In the past 5 years, more than 11,000 people from different sectors have undergone this training. It's one of the many efforts under this year's refreshed Break the Silence Together campaign, run by the Social and Family Development Ministry.
We're all gathered here as a community with a shared sense of responsibility and understanding that every case of domestic violence is one too many. Strong and stable families are the foundation of a strong society, and it is where we should feel safe. We must feel safe and supported. Domestic violence not only affects the victim survivor, it breaks families, it breaks communities, and it offends our fundamental values as a society.
Students from Ngee Ann Polytechnic are also playing their part, focusing their final year projects on raising awareness. One such team created a messaging app chatbot that enables victims to receive support discreetly.
Our main goal was actually to come up with something easy and accessible. So Dawn will actually base on the user situation and provide tailored support to them. So this includes providing information about the nearest safe place for victims who feel that they are at risk currently or they are in danger.
The app also provides information about the helpline and guides victims or the public to make online reports of suspected abuse.
And here to share more about domestic violence trends in Singapore is Sugita Nidhi Ananthan, Director of Advocacy and Research at Aware. Ms. Sugi, welcome to Singapore tonight.
Thank you very much.
So to begin with, what are some of the key reasons or factors that are driving these domestic violence cases today? Are there any threats or anything that you are particularly concerned about?
So I think the thing to recognize is that domestic violence has been an issue that has been a problem in society, not just in Singapore, but the world over for centuries, right? And if we recognize that this has been a problem for many, many years and across societies, we need to understand what is the cause of these problems. Now, in any particular situation and any individual family, there will be events that precipitate violence in that instance. But underlying all of this, I think we need to understand where the source of violence comes from. Some stats would be helpful. For example, the UN Women, in their report in November last year, state that of women aged 15 and above, 1/3 of them will face physical or sexual abuse in their lifetime. 26% of women aged 15 and above will face intimate partner violence. What does this tell us? This is a global problem. This has been a recurring problem across centuries. So when you see that this has a recurrent problem across the years, to the point that now it has been recognized and classified as gender-based violence, we need to understand that while, yes, men also face violence in the home, men are also victim survivors of violence, the predominant expression of domestic violence is of men against women. Understanding this is key in order for us to be able to unlock what causes it so that we can then start looking at what are the solutions that will truly benefit people beyond the immediate measures that we can take to help someone on the street that we see.
So this is a prevalent problem in the world, as you said, and women, they are still the primary victims here. So in your view, what more can be done to prevent domestic violence before it even starts in the first place? How can we improve our response when it does happen also?
Great question. Thank you. So in order to think about what is the solution, what is the cause of this problem? And it may sound trite, but actually the reason why you find men committing violence against women more often than the other way around, why when you see a case like Giselle Pellico, the man is found to have invited 70 men to rape his wife. Why in Singapore we had the case of 6 men who raped and shared and raped their wives and shared these pictures. Why you have cases like the Singapore Sports School where you have fake news by the boys. It always has an element of men doing this. Why? We need to understand that at the base of this all, it starts with issues around patriarchy, around sexist views, which then influence societal structures and embed the power imbalance between men and women. This legitimizes dominance. It leads down the road to some men, not all men, but some men feeling that enables them to create or to maintain discipline in the house by slapping their wives, or feeling that they're entitled to sex and therefore that means they can rape their wives. These are all wrong, illegal. Yet it reaches that point because it starts from a background of a sense of entitlement over women's lives and their bodies. Obviously, in Singapore, we've reached a level where there is much more gender equality. These things like rape of your wife are laws that you cannot break. You have situations where it is not even acceptable that a man can raise his hand against his wife. But it is to understand where it comes from so that we can understand, so how do we solve this? In order for us to understand this, we have to unlock the problems.
Okay.
What are the problems?
So we were looking at this problem, right? We're looking at this protection ecosystem. Where do you think the current gaps are within this ecosystem then? For instance, how do we also overcome challenges like the bystander effect, getting more people to come forward to speak up?
So there are wonderful measures that have been taken already. Apart from all the support systems we have in Singapore now, we have laws that have strengthened family violence. We have the divert schemes by MSF with protectors who can come in and save and help survivors. We have the court systems which are now actively looking at how they can protect survivors in court. But there are some gaps. The gaps include, for example, we need more resources so that our support systems, like our family service centers and other shelters, can provide more help to people who need this help. There are many helplines, for example, Women's Helpline and Care Center in Singapore, She Cares at SCWO, the NAVH National Helpline.
And as you were speaking there, we are also seeing a link of
Thank you.
Aware.
Exactly. So these are helplines that exist. But the fact that all of them are overburdened by calls tells you that more resources needs to be poured into this. In addition, a key element is comprehensive education for children to understand gender equality, gender stereotypes, consent, and where do the lines blur, where do the lines stand between what is acceptable and what is not.
All right. It is a collaborative effort, right, Ms.
Absolutely.
Sugi? Thank you so much for coming in to speak with us about this very, very important topic. That was Ms. Sugita Niti Ananthan, Director of Advocacy and Research at AWARE. Thank you.